happens on the other side, Ron P, I feel like what this is definitely goalie Jakar, right? For Ron P. So he'll have the opportunity to show off those strike shot skills that a lot of us know him for. And we're about to get into things here. For this first game, of course, worth noting, Spark of Focus and that Explosive Entrance are our starter awakenings, and so a lot of that helped shape this first draft. But of course, with a Spark starter awakening, Saya, it's going to be a rush to be the mayor.
Yeah, I expect a lot of Spark takes. If not everybody, almost everybody is going to be looking at that Spark of Focus because that is game warping. Like you mentioned, the rush for mayor, so many options, especially the Spark of Resilience, 450 stagger. Already a very strong survivability awakening on its own, but when combined with some of those other sparks becomes quite overwhelming, especially when you consider the damage on EKC's side, so something that they have to be aware of in Taken Away, and Modern Magic has to be very aware of in Taken. But we're getting right started. This is the first game of Landing.
First game of Landing, and 5 Spark of Focus, only 1 on that Explosive Entrance. Of course, that's Soren for this IME, which wants to play incredibly active in general. And we'll see, how active he's able to be, especially as things go forward in this game. Because that's going to be a decent, difference maker here, especially with the Jakar on the other side. Can you apply that pressure to the enemy goal box sufficiently, or is this Jakar just going to be able to send the core away at the midfield line?
Yeah, but Carmine is already showing why you don't let this guy get Rasmus. That was some incredible scoring plays, and the pressure immediately from Modern Magic is looking extremely solid.
Able to put the first goal in here, of course, but I imagine things are not quite online yet for EKC. You see, of course, this is Stell IME combination. We'll see whether or not it'll be able to scale, but of course, if they can keep the pressure up right now, they'll be playing quite well. Worth noting that, of course, Forgot in this midfield switched over to midfield last season from the goalie slot and seemed to be enjoying it a little more. That one, a little unfortunate as Katsuda looks for the angle off the split barrier to no avail. But switching over to this midfield slot, opting for someone else to come into this goalie slot that can maybe benefit the team's playstyle more, and now has that much extra experience, though is going to get taken out by the dash punch burst combination from nxzd's Juliette. Soren looking for the bottom side, Rose warp in from Kitsuna. Able to find a goal barrier and make open goal gates on one side, but even still, very slow point here for the second goal.
Yeah, good reaction by Kitsuna on the defense. Has not really played too much in the realm of competitive, or just in general, has not been the most active player, but the reflexes are still very much there. And with the Crystal Thorns, with the piercing shot, with Soren having to flip to the top. What a brilliant goal by Soren, and that's why you take the Explosive Entrance, and that's why you should consider taking away the IME against this team.
Which, by the way, he was there for a little while, and the eject button was still up. So he was able to get out of that if he needed to, for whatever reason. But even still, stuck around, used that energy burst in the offensive manner, and not quite something that Modern Magic expected. Although, with the goal gates open, perhaps it was only a matter of time. Speaking of which, goal gates open now very quickly for Modern Magic. Looking to get this up to Carmine, but nxzd finds the punish on Forgot once again. Doesn't matter. A beautiful death touch from Carmine.
At the perfect moment, too. That was about to be a massive power play. They took out Forgot, who had full meter, a full bar of energy. And Carmine just completely saves Modern Magic in this set. That was a point that they should have lost.
Even still, if they can find that early pressure before a damage snowball or something gets rolling, or before nxzd finds a pick on the side, that'll be crucial for this Modern Magic team as they look to advance. Of course, worth noting that we are playing double elimination today. For those of you that might not be aware, you lose twice, you're out. You win twice, you're in. And you're in a group of 4. So these two teams do have potential to see one another again later on in the tournament, depending on how things might shake out. which is always something to consider, but a beautiful series of combinations on those KOs from nxzd. He does not want to leave things up to chance, leave things up to a third game today, and he'll put things away here. We're tied in the first set.
Yeah, 2 goals for EKC, 2 flips by Soren on the enemy half of the field. And that's exactly what the EKC game plan is, really. That additional pressure from Soren, but watch out, it's Carmine coming in. You always have to be aware of that forward, of that Rasmus. So much speed to be careful of, and if there's one thing that we learned yesterday, it's that speed is still king, and that the control over the map is so important, the agency as well, especially when nxzd is not dominating with KOs on the Juliette.
I don't think there's been a moment in Omega Strikers history where speed has ever been weak, as it might turn out. Certainly something that everyone in the lobby will be looking for in the next one. Perhaps Spark will come up in this first draft. Want that advantage early. Kitsuna will use Burst to get it away on the defensive side. Soren tries flipping forward, but won't be able to make an offensive play. Now nxzd is close to Burst. We've seen him use it for KOs before to open up power play opportunities, and he'll be close here in just a moment. After even one or two more redirects or something of the sort. He'll be right there. There it is. Doesn't quite find it there onto Carmine, but Soren is able to zone the Rasmus of Modern Magic away. Kitsuna now top side. Molten Bolt from Ron P. Gonna send this one around the world. Has to be careful. Uses the energy burst to get that one out of there. Thanks to Soren's well-placed glitch pop. Open goal gates even still. Carmine patient. Baits out the glitch pop for a moment, but doesn't come up with a goal. Here's Soren again. It doesn't rebound right back to him for the burst. And now he uses it on the defensive side. Ron P is still there to save it away. Beautiful drone. Soren barely finds the save with the glitch pop, and now nxzd is in position to send it through. EKC finds their first set.
What a set by Soren. Well-deserved set MVP. That guy held it down, got the goals. Everything was created by Soren in that set, and now they're rewarded with some scary awakenings. The start of some Spark scaling is upon us. One Spark appears, a Spark of Agility, but I'm also looking at that Fight or Flight and that Catalyst. The Energy Awakening so valuable. And if you're EKC, you are incredibly happy having your Juliette, your KO machine, getting that Spark of Agility, 2 Sparks on the board, the potential for more, and Fight or Flight also on your player as well. Of course, Catalyst on the other side is scary in terms of energy generation, but overall, EKC very, very content with this one.
I mean, you have to be. Of course, Carmine picking up the Super Surge will be at least a little bit of extra speed on that side, but even still, there's already a KO happens here, and nxzd also now with double Sparks going to have cooldowns online even faster. Worth something to be aware of, especially in the event that EKC can start snowballing this in with another one, another KO. I mean, what? This has to be like at least 10 by now for nxzd.
That guy doesn't even have extra power.
Yeah, no extra power. Just been able to find the punish when he can, and now pressure on the front lines. Fiery Flurry doesn't quite come up with anything there, but of course he still has the energy burst. Probably going to use it on a dash punch combo again. Forgot, dancing close to the side. Has to be careful. There it is. Still caught by it. Even when you thought you might have been safe. Kitsuna will lose control of the core. Carmine is able to send it forward. Does have energy burst again. Ron P trying to do his best as well to bait out the power play for just long enough. Drone comes in. Carmine now low on stagger, taken down immediately. Doesn't get the chance to use that energy burst. And nxzd comes up with yet another. His Juliette is on point right now.
Before the guy that gets, there was nxzd on the Juliette. We're seeing why right here. This is why you don't let that guy get it, especially on a map like Night Market, and EKC are showing why they're the defending team from the North American Strikers League. They're showing why they got that second place in NASL 2 seasons ago. And this is just a game that has snowballed in their favor, and Modern Magic need a massive change in playstyle if they're going to bring this one back.
But that begs the question, how do you change at this point? You're dealing with a Juliette that has 2 sparks already, that's had your team's number up to this point. You're dealing with Soren, who already has that explosive entrance. I mean, he picked up off the starting of this game. How do you find an answer? I assume it's got to be through getting just more speed, able to outpace your opponent, or just maybe being able to find a KO onto nxzd, but he's already back up to half, almost tries to KO Forgotten. There it is! Still finds a way to do it, despite the fact that the traditional dash punch combo didn't work. Ron P does have the energy burst just to save that core away, but it feels like it's only a matter of time before the core finds the net for EKC.
Bit of a backwards glitch pop, but it's fine because the possession is still being maintained by Era's Kitten Club. Soren working on a flip here. The next blink could be devastating. We've seen flip scores from Soren multiple times already, and this one defensive to the other side. Ron P has hit the strike shot. A weird bounce almost sets it up for nxzd, but good on Forgot for mitigating that. And Carmine flip in front of the net. Not quite enough, deflected away. Forgot to the bottom side. Gets the primary to dribble it up to Carmine. Those are the points we need for Modern Magic, but we need them a little quicker because that could have gone either way.
Saya, I think I found what Modern Magic needs. I think Modern Magic needs me to caster curse more. I think that's what they need. Because it turns out it was not just a matter of time before the goal went in for EKC. Still able to find a way to do it in that last set, but fighting tooth and nail the whole time for it. That was close to being a KO as well. On to Forgot again. But Froggy is not being left alone here by nxzd and the members of EKC. Here's everything thrown towards the top corner. Carmine can't quite find the KO. Another drone comes out. Little bit of extra healing as now pressure is going to dismount. And Ron P able to hold on for quite some time, but now start to lose one barrier. Now a second one, and once again a KO. There's the 10 KO streak for nxzd, and he's got the speed to get back in with the Night Market Gate. Kitsuna looking for the pass forward, just trying to keep the pressure up. nxzd, though, has to drop back with low stagger, and the penalty will be killed by Modern Magic. Glitch Pop, though, once again will find the net. Soren creeping up on that left side. You never quite know when he'll be there. And you know he's been putting in the practice on those plays. He's oftentimes playing midfield even for Lakeland in the CCL. Now able to incorporate some of that offensive play here in the goal slot. Not that he's ever not been an offensive goalie, but even still, time and time again, proving his worth here and proving the fact that he is a NASL tier goalie.
Yeah, there were some rumors, actually, that Soren was considering a swap to midfield for this season. It didn't end up panning out, but there was definitely potential there, and we're kind of seeing why this guy can strike it in the midfield line. Another KO found by nxzd. The midfielder of Modern Magic once again taken away, but a few missed strikes will make the offense stall for a little bit, and a flip will send the core away, but only for just a moment, as Kitsuna is keeping the core contained in that top corner.
Keeps it up there. Still holds onto a goal barrier, though, here as Modern Magic. Carmine has to try to find a way to make a play. Just hasn't been given the space or room to do so here, and now the core gets away from him again. Kitsuna backwards keeps possession here for EKC. Soren flips forward. There's the 12 KO streak coming alive for nxzd, and he's still got burst. Uses it here. Pass up to Kitsuna, just a little bit too fast for him that time. The core will get away for just a moment. Here comes Soren again, flipping forward. Not able to find it there, but Carmine finally will find the punish versus nxzd, ending that streak. Soren angle finds it, baits out one drone, but actually it comes up clutch for Forgot there at the end. A little bit of mind games there towards the end. Worked out in the favor of Modern Magic, and apparently they'll need to pull a couple more tricks up their sleeve in order to come away with this one.
Yep. Carmine trying to look at this speed, trying to go a little bit faster to try and take over this game, but that firewall sentry completely walls it off, and that's 2 barriers already down.
2 barriers down. Still waiting for a moment. Dear goodness. Dash punch from nxzd nearly takes out Forgot again, but he lives with a sliver of stagger. Still possession for EKC. There's the piercing shot. Comes up shy. nxzd onto Ron P. Bullying around this Drakkar a little bit, but Carmine finds the side angles, and then the drone takes out Soren. Forgot has turned all his attention into getting into Soren's head. Comes away with that set for this team and the first pick in this draft. No Spark online, which means things will get further out of hand, but stacks on stacks are up, Saya. That could be huge here.
Yeah, but Egoist is the focus. But Knife's Edge is given over. Liari mentioned it yesterday. Knife's Edge is an awakening that has not been touched for quite a while. That is still in a very powerful state, and that is Juliette getting it. nxzd is thriving in this draft. Forget about everything else. That's what my eyes are on.
I mean, the Egoist denial probably worthwhile even still. Carmine picks up the pancakes, which could be something here. We were noting speed earlier, and maybe that's the avenue to try to get something moving here for Modern Magic. They'll have to rely on that somehow, but to your point, now we saw the amount of work that nxzd was able to do without a single Power Awakening, only having the Pummelers. Now has the Knife's Edge, in addition to picking up the extra speed on the edges. You're going to find it that much easier to get these KOs. Have to be playing incredibly carefully if you are Modern Magic. You can't be getting caught out like you were in the first two sets. We'll see whether or not they're able to stay alive and weave around the dash punches. Here's nxzd looking for one there. Ron P forced into the energy burst. nxzd actually looking rather low here. Is still going to be in position to find a goal barrier as the core goes through, but Carmine will find the KO. Confirmed. Power play opportunity. Ron P up to Forgot, over to the corner. Carmine can't quite find the pendulum swing to send it into the goal barrier. And even still, Soren and Kitsune on the back lines hold this barrier. nxzd 5 puts Forgot into a bad position. The piercing shot takes him out immediately. And EKC will turn that one on a dime the second they've got their brawler online.
Yeah, well played by Soren to secure that one. But they're becoming a little bit more shaky, it feels like. Modern Magic might be turning something up. EKC is being put on the back foot a little bit more often, but maybe not so this point because they're keeping the possession up. They're keeping it forward.
We'll see whether they're able to keep that momentum going as Forgot finds both barriers, but now an awkward bounce on the backside. Goal barriers open on both sides of the pitch. Here's the Fiery Flurry. Annex in position, but didn't come away with it there. Now, once again, in this corner, trying to use that Knife's Edge speed, and now there's the energy burst, finds the KO. Forgot will use a drone, bait out a little bit of time, tries to play it patiently here. Ron P tries to get it back up to him, but now Forgot's getting overwhelmed. There's the bottom side, the Firewall Sentry, and the core will be found by it. Sends it forward to nxzd. We're once again on set point for EKC.
Set point. And this is a big one. You know, those sparks are still all on the board. Spark of Power would just be game ending here. nxzd would be dash punching people from basically across the entire map at this point. So it's something to be aware of here. But even still, just the raw scoring power is there too, and the raw damage as well. Carmine being healed up now. But an amazing defense by nxzd and a KO right afterwards.
That KO comes through. Another power play for EKC. Here's the Firewall Sentry. Puts the core in the corner exactly where you want it. The opposite barrier will be the first one to fall, though. It drifts up there, and Kitsune's got a perfect angle. Forgot. Has to be careful. nxzd didn't have cooldowns that time, but you know would have loved to have found that KO. And open up the map once more for EKC. Now, though, has to be careful. Has Energy Burst, doesn't have anything else, and now finds the KO. They're on to Forgot. Kitsune looking once again for nxzd, keeping the pressure alive. Carmine this time about to be next to the chopping block, but a beautiful lifeline comes in from Forgot the second he comes back in to the game. Overtime now once again. Kitsune has the energy burst. nxzd almost finds Forgot yet once more. Not that time. Nice bounce, sends it away for just a moment. Death touch. Carmine tries to pull it back, but EKC tries to keep the pressure alive here as well. Have not seen the level of passing plays from Modern Magic you might have liked to, as Oftentimes just always something in the way of making that connection. Not that time, though, as a beautiful angle from Forgot was found on the assist up to Carmine. It's a goal on the board for Modern Magic, but a lot more to go here in this set 3. Otherwise, things could continue snowballing away.
Yeah, although that point win was good, they have to be very careful. Because oh no, not the bounce you want to see there. If you are Modern Magic, that's a barrier down. And that is EKC sitting pretty. Flip almost available on nxzd. And with this Firewall Sentry, the core being maintained in the top left corner. EKC just pushing on and trying to secure this set.
Okay, but wait a minute. There we go. Forgot has the barrier. Carmine almost finds it as the goal gates open. Down to Forgot this time. Crystal Thorns popped. It tries to get it away, but no, the Whiplash provides just enough speed for that to come in from Carmine, sitting at 150 stacks on those pancakes, and that egoist from Forgot as well. The speed coming into play here, Saya. We'll see whether or not similar plays are able to happen for Modern Magic as they've tied up this set once more.
Indeed, and Ron P and Carmine being brought pretty low here, but Carmine is pushing forward, and there's only one barrier left on the EKC side. EKC have to be very careful on this defense because they do not want those sparks going away. They do want the opportunity to scale even further for nxzd, but so far it's the Carmine show. Every time the core gets into his hands, some magic happens. But with the Fireball Sentry, 2 barriers are taken, and EKC, this is their chance.
That touch though from Carmine, tries to keep it in possession. Whiplash forward. Here comes Soren on the side swipe. Can't quite find a lot of substantial pressure. EKC looking for something there as nxzd was picking up the core and Forgot at the same time, but couldn't convert on either. Here comes Carmine again. There's the Whiplash. Waits to use it for after the strike. Not able to find the goal barrier. There's a death touch again. Doesn't find it. Glitch Pop actually sends it away. Soren back into his own goal barrier. Now tries to keep it. Pass up to Kitsuna. Here's the Fiery Flurry. Comes out. Ron P. Beautiful patience on the Energy Burst to get that one out of there. Crystal Thorns come through. Back off that bottom corner. Ron P. still holds. Forgot. Once again on top of from nxzd. Carmine, the death touch just up a little bit short. Now finds it. Just a little bit too late. Kitsuna was in the way. Firewall Sentry is out. Here's an Energy Burst. Opportunity off the corner once more. Ron P tries to space away. Carmine able to do just that. The core is flying right now. Soren's ready for it even still. Is nxzd in position in the enemy goal box. Carmine looking for maybe his own death touch. Not that time though. And now Ron P able to use that lock and load to get it away. Once again, nxzd almost finds the conversion up to the opposite corner, but Ron P was ready for it. Still has Energy Burst on the defensive side as well. Soren might be waiting to use his, and there is going to need to after coming back on the eject button. Carmine once more, top corner. No, denied. Soren sends it away. Anything could go in at this point, and there it is from Carmine. Finds the way in off of that corner, and Modern Magic up 2-1. Incredibly hard fought up to this point.
Yeah, and thankfully for EKC, no sparks appear. So the next draft will be devastating. Adrenaline Rush, also a notable pickup here that might need to be denied. Unstoppable, so valuable against the Juliette and the Estelle. And that Unstoppable pickup might just swing the game, but Extra Special falls. Adrenaline Rush indeed denied here. I gotta say, this isn't the draft that somehow skyrockets Modern Magic, but they're definitely happy about this one.
You have to be happy more so that EKC doesn't get anything, rather than you get something that is incredibly beneficial to your game. Although, we've been talking a little bit about the extra speed. Where does that end up here? Sure, theoretically, if Carmine finds a KO, perhaps, but unlikely. That was mostly the denial. Instead, Cast the Last from Forgotten. The extra speed boost that those drones provide could give enough of a difference for a player like Carmine to make some magic happen. But right now, it's all EKC as the Crystal Thorns come out. There's another KO coming from nxzd, but this time it's against the goalie, Ron P. Forgot has to go back to his roots in this game in order to hold the line, but actually Carmine not even letting that be a bother. Never mind, nxzd just gonna take out the Rasmus. All the same, 5 KO streak now for the Juliette, almost about to find a 6th if Forgot wouldn't have gone elusive for a moment. Soren cyber swipes forward, looking for nxzd in the corner, but there's Kitsuna once again denied on the corner by Ron P. Low stagger for the midfielders on both sides as the Rose warp forward. Here's Soren as well in the Firewall Sentry. Dash punch combo doesn't work this time, and the pendulum swing is just out of reach of Kitsuna. Death touch also doesn't pull away, and that KO could have been exactly what Carmine needed, especially on the adrenaline rush, but there's a KO once more. Forgot taken out. Power play opportunity for EKC. Here comes Soren, sets up the Firewall Sentry in the corner, and it's just too much. Ron P can't react in time, and the core will go in.
Well played by EKC to secure that one. Trying to go a little bit further here, trying to make sure that Modern Magic cannot take a lead in this series. That would be pretty bad when EKC was looking so good in this game. But Carmine is activated, of course, and with that speed, it will be really difficult for Soren to defend all by his lonesome. EKC's game plan is to keep the core up, and that's what they're doing right now, but a good flip by Ron P will keep the barrier alive.
Carmine trying to put on the fancy footwork. Finds a barrier on the opposite side. Here's that Firewall Sentry. Once more Fire Flurry used to try to get this core forward, but to no avail this time. Carmine, Whiplash. Doesn't find it with the extra speed. Now Pendulum Swing back over to himself. Once again denied, and even when you think Modern Magic might have a slight edge, someone from EKC is just able to get into the way. Prevent something from happening. There's a glitch pop from Soren. Does the same. Well, good read by Ron P. Sends it down to the bottom side. Keeps the pressure alive here, or the thought of pressure alive for Modern Magic. Overtime's been hit once more. Firewall Sentry will ensure that that top barrier goes down, and then nxzd with a well-spaced energy burst will seal it. Set point again for EKC. We've seen Modern Magic adapt and fight back in these sets. Will it be enough here? Because there are 2 sparks in the next draft.
Oh, and another critical KO for nxzd. Every single one matters. Every single KO and goal from nxzd matters. Because you want the Juliette to be the MVP if you're EKC. You want that 3-spark Julie taking over this game and making sure that last set is just a formality. And right now, it's looking to be so much damage being poured on to Carmine as nxzd is just patrolling the edge with that knife's edge. One barrier already taken by Kitsuna. Flip available. And Carmine so incredibly low. The dash punch, though, doesn't fully connect. And Carmine lives to see another day.
Lives for now, but for how much longer? Here comes some of the extra damage from EKC as some of those primary cooldowns are back online, but actually is Forgot taken off. And now Carmine will find his way to the bench. Power play opportunity for EKC. This one will find the net. Ron P crossed up there. And EKC wins the set. We'll see whether or not nxzd gets MVP here. He does. That will for sure mean a spark at this point, unless he opts for the 1-2 punch here. But I quite doubt that, given that you'd want to go for the 3 sparks. And we'll see how the rest of this draft falls. We'll pick up Spark of Strength, which could be devastating.
It is indeed the Spark of Strength coming in. 3 sparks for nxzd. We got to look at the stats once this draft is done. Of course, some size available. No, Spark of Resilience. Expecting the damage to be overwhelming from Carmine, trying to weather the storm. They do have Monumentalist. They do have Team Player. They do have tools, but they do not have 174 power Juliette.
It's just a matter of whether or not in that last draft, will you be able to make the core control work happen before all as fails. You've got the extra stagger on Carmine. You've got the Monumentalist to hopefully throw down these drones from Forgot and have them put in the work. And then, of course, Ron P with a team player trying to get this core forward and away from the constant pressure of EKC. But it's just not enough sometimes. As it stays in the corner forever, and then nxzd picks up a KO. Soren commits the energy burst there on a slight miscommunication. But it doesn't matter. nxzd's in the middle and is ready to take over this game on the Juliette. Energy burst at the ready. Here it is. Everything goes out. Ron P finds the save that time. And now, maybe a KO coming as he... nxzd, excuse me, low on stagger. We've hit overtime again. There almost finds his way off, but no. Not there, and still playing close to the middle. Incredibly safe. Modern Magic going to have to coordinate something to get this one away, and Ron P tries to keep this one in the corner. Couldn't quite find it. Didn't want to risk the cross clear versus Soren, who certainly had a glitch pop at the ready for it, but it's going to go in, and EKC once again ahead.
Yeah. Dribbling up, looking for a little bit more. Firewall Sentry already. That's an extra special coming in. Forgot. You had to see it coming. There was a Flame Flurry. And then the Dash Punch. nxzd finds another KO. And it's all EKC. It's just so much scaling. But Soren drifts up a little bit too far. Carmine's one chance to bring this point back. Net open. But Knife's Edge. 204 power. A little too much to deal with.
By my math, that is at least 25 KOs on nxzd, at least one per point, even if it goes all the way. Make it at least 26 at this point, it feels. Is still putting in the work. There's an energy burst from Ron P, gets it away, almost comes up with another onto the opposing goalie, but it'll put EKC at match point regardless.
It is... It is a lot to deal with for Modern Magic. They had to win in that previous set where they had a slight advantage, where they had hope, but it's all over. The nxzd Juli is taken over, and I don't think I could believe anymore.
It's real difficult to believe that Modern Magic can pull up a miracle here. As Carmine gets taken out once more. Firewall Sentries in the corner. Ron P, energy burst, tries to get this one away, but EKC still able to recover. Glitch pop comes up just a little bit too short, but it doesn't matter. nxzd is still there once again to find the KO, and this game feels all but over. Kitsuna doesn't quite have the speed. Soren goes forward and isn't able to keep up the fast pressure. Penalty kill, at least for a little while, from Modern Magic. But they're coming back through here on the bottom side, rushing forward. Soren wants to be involved, but has to go back to the goal box, do the thing that the goalie needs to do. Yeah, whatever. It's less fun. We get it.
Oh.
But there it is. Fiery Flurry from nxzd as he slides in to take care of business. And now EKC up one game. It was well fought from Modern Magic, but it felt like the points that went EKC's way had exclamation marks at the end of them, Saya.
Yeah. It was dominant when it was dominant for EKC. 27 KOs for nxzd. What a performance.
Incredibly well done. Extra 3 from Kitsuna for good measure. So 30 KOs across EKC in that last game. And Saya, you have to go back to the drawing board here in terms of how you're approaching this draft. And I don't know where the answer is. You know, I think in the past we were like, oh, well, EKC can't just force whatever they want to when you're playing Snake Draft. But here they seem flexible enough where you're either going to have to target the IME and get that out, or you're going to have to take out nxzd's Juliette. Either way, they're both just going to find other characters to do the same thing on.
Yeah, and of course, you got to respect the Kitsuna Luna. No matter how washed that guy is, it is still a power pick that must be feared. So it's hard. It's difficult.
Next map, of course, is the Modern Magic pick of Clarion Test Chamber. I don't know how have we seen them perform here in the past, Saya? Because I feel like EKC feels this. I mean, they're going to feel comfortable no matter what they play, regardless of who they play today. Or at least you would think that the NASL spot defenders feel that way. But where is the possible angle here? Obviously, it's got to be something to enable Carmine. But what is that answer?
That's a very good question, and honestly, I think Modern Magic would also like to know the answer to that question because I'll be real, I'm not very sure because this EKC seems to have all the answers, especially against Modern Magic in particular. Because all things considered, like Modern Magic is one of the more draft restricted teams. They have a very clear game plan. They have a very clear way they want to play the game, and EKC just finding the damage throws a massive wrench into it.
Yeah. And this is where the discussion leads us, right? It's like, okay, well, theoretically, you could pick some of these away, but you really want Carmine to play his Rasmus. You probably want Ron P to play the Drakkar above all else, and that leaves you with Forgot that can kind of be flexible in the midfield. Maybe Forgot picks away the Estelle, and now if you ban Luna and you pick Estelle first, then you're risking some of what you can play on the other two characters, but at least Kitsuna's off of either of those two picks. It's hard to find an answer.
Yeah, it is. It's a struggle. We'll see what they do in the draft. But I'm looking at the draft and I'm seeing another spark.
Oh,
Yeah. Well, I'll show it to you right now.
did you really have to give us that news, Saya? Did you really have to do that? You could have just like showed it on stream and then like kind of tried to avoid the bringing it up. Oh, and it's another spark of focus.
Whoa. Wait,
it's the same start.
it's the same start.
Of course it is. Why wouldn't it be?
I've just verified that this is like totally random.
We just totally random got the same awakening start. Mods, what are the odds? I'm sure Achi is already calculating that, like prior to even us seeing it on stream.
But I've confirmed that random awakenings were selected here. So
okay.
My condolences to Modern Magic.
EKC banning away the Kai does make sense. Of course, that's maybe another pick for Ron P. That he'd be comfortable going to, and what was banned away in the last one. But on red side here, you don't even get a lot of options. Yeah, okay, you ban away the Luna. Aimee is the first pick. Maybe 2-3. They think about picking up an Estelle here, and then what does Kitsuna play if not one of those two?
Yeah, it's a little difficult. But EKC on the bright side, they get Aimee.
On the bright side. On the bright side for EKC, yeah, sure.
Yeah, on the bright side for EKC.
Soren quite happy with that.
But Modern Magic, not too much of a bright side. They pick up the Drakkar, Ron P secondary, and now comes the hard part. What do you select here? There's a good likelihood it's the Rasmus because Carmine priority. But if you're really thinking in this draft, like, oh, we need to change something, then it gets a little difficult here.
Waiting on this third pick. We'll see what it ends up being, but okay, did opt for the Estelle. They might be listening to me. I feel like they're listening to me. They're like, oh wait, actually, that makes a lot of sense.
But yeah, as as pointed out by some observative people, it kind of feels like a blunder to pick the Drakkar this early because EKC is not picking that character. Let's be real.
True.
Yeah, you could leave it for last pick and it would still be available. And look at what happens here. Juno.
Oh, I forgot
Juliette.
there was the Juno.
Yeah.
How did I forget the Kitsuna Juno?
Well, they do get the Rasmus, but I'm scared. I think it's gonna be last game, but again,
Did I just... Yeah, are we just about to watch Deja Vu? I feel like that's what we're about to watch.
Yeah, because a lot of the variants in Clarion push you even more to the edge than Night Market. So
Yeah. Well, we'll be getting into this one in a moment. In the interim, PP Legends did take their first game over Pass. So both slot defenders here, in theory, or automatic qualifiers, I should say, will advance. For the record, PP Legends randomly came out of nowhere, a way to do some digging ahead of time, because this didn't even make sense to you, Saya. Turns out they take the spot from Chikara Chatting after their NASA win. Aquabug sub on the roster, and Bloom, right, is the other player there to keep the slot. And Bloom is the starter, so this PPL, I mean, hey, PPL set up actually really good to make their second NASL berth after the season 1. We don't talk about season 1 much. But it would be fun to see them. Anyway, we're getting into this one here. Clarion Test Chamber, about to see where the picks will go, but you have to imagine we know exactly how this will end up for the most part.
yeah, and I think that the big question to be asking here is, will Modern Magic be able to not die to the Juliette? And that's a real question to ask, because again, on Clarion Test Chamber, well, we'll just have to see as we get into game. Of course, that Juno throwing a bit of a wrench into the plans, but I think that Juno does favor the side of EKC, especially in the overtimes.
Yeah, I mean, Kitsuda has played the Juno before. This is not a random pick, right? This is another character that he's known to play. The only thing could be... why did we abort that?
No, nxzd's turning name on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, all good.
The only thing, of course, with Kitsuna on the Juno is that, I don't know, theoretically, it's less supportive in terms of stagger, right? So you don't get nearly as much damage, and EKC can't just throw that down wherever they want to, which might make some KOs for nxzd slightly harder, but realistically, it's not like the Juliette was relying on the stagger dumping to find those KO confirmed. So we'll see how that Juno plays in. But it is something that I think stylistically might not work as well as they might like for EKC. Now, on the flip side, Saya, I feel like a Juno with the presence of the Blobos could be incredibly annoying for Carmine to get around.
Yeah,
as the Rasmus.
Honestly, I think all three of the members on the Modern Magic team kind of have difficulty getting around the Juno. They're all single hit characters. So no Kai Barrage to save you here, and we'll be getting the game just shortly as soon as nxzd receives lobby owner again after re-entering the lobby. All good.
All good. Listen, I don't play this game, guys. I don't know what you want me to say.
That's real, actually. This season, all I've been playing is Pauldron's Juno. This season.
You've been playing Pauldron's Juno?
Yeah, I have like a 80% win rate, and one of the losses was against like Double Pro League, while I had only myself, so all good. Anyway, it's not about that. It's about the Juno of Kitsuna, who is chilling, who is looking absolutely solid here. And of course, nxzd and Soren on very, very comfortable picks. Not that the Juno isn't, but everything we talked about, this is looking like a very, very secure game for EKC. It is just up to Modern Magic to create some magic here.
Soren about to end the in-game draft. by hovering Mako. All good. We'll get into game 2 in just a moment. Of course, we expect to see much the same in this. And we'll get in just a moment. Here we are again. Of course, Soren, once again, only player on that explosive entrance. Everyone else with the Spark of Focus. nxzd not changing a single thing. Picking up those pummelers as well. And already putting in the work to find the first barrier, although Carmine finds first barrier of his own as well.
Right, Soren to the bottom side, and I think the big thing again, Katsuna being able to wait a second. That's Ron P on the Estelle goalie.
Okay.
We've seen Ron P on the Estelle goalie quite a few times. We did expect it to be Forgot on the Estelle, but honestly a pretty solid pickup, and we'll be able to more preemptively defend in the midfield, so might be just what they need. Forgot also with some scoring power, dribbling to the top side, looking for the shotgun, but stuffed away by Yuko Kita, who goes in for the goal, but Ron P, that blink, making the saves that he couldn't Undercar.
And has the energy burst here already as well, but the KO comes through. Carmine taken out. nxzd low on stagger. Katsuna jumping in. nxzd looking for the connection up to the Juno midfielder, who's trying to find the presence, but Forgot drops back, covers the top side of the net, and will be able to get this one out. nxzd almost gets taken off the pitch. And now Forgot picks up the approaching Maelstrom Orb, and boom! That one was flying towards the top corner. Will pick up the first goal here for Modern Magic.
Yeah, but I'm still confused. How did nxzd survive up there? Did like the Drakkar poison tick cancel the knockback or something? He just stopped very close to the edge of the wall, but it doesn't really matter. Modern Magic still pick it up, and again, this is a game where they have to win early. They have to take these early sets, and they have to take these early drafts to make sure this nxzd cannot scale out of control. The bounce house, as Grimella loves to call it, Inky Splash Zone, but on Clarion, is a very snowbally map, and we see that right here. Modern Magic loses control for half a second, and EKC just snowballs the barriers and the goal.
A team that can build on their momentum quite a bit is EKC. We saw in the last game. We're seeing it here as well. Point to point, set to set, you name it. They'll be able to find an opening and punish on it, especially in this field of competition. Forgot looking forward for Carmine again on this top side. There's the strike shot, piercing shot, actually able to find the goal barrier as Ron P. Crystallized Thorns get it forward. Forgotten Carmine looking to keep the passing play forward, but no one has energy burst to get the confirm and send it away from Katsuna's Juno. There's the Blobos out, but they're just a little bit late. Carmine now tries to set up a play for himself, almost gets it off of that weird corner. But no. And Soren will flip forward. Looking to apply pressure on the other side. Oh. There's another energy burst and another KO nxzd finds. Ron P has that, but Soren covers the cross with the cyber swipe. Well done, participating, and there's another far corner shot. Didn't have the Rose Warp available, and EKC will pick up their second goal of the series.
Yeah, I think to be concerned of when EKC has the lead is the amount of awakenings that can turn the game around for them. Of course, there's the Juno core speed, right? It ticked overtime, and Katsuna became a beast. Like, just made it so difficult for Ron P to make the saves with the Estelle startup on the abilities. Forgot actually goes for a creative KO combo onto Katsuna, but unable to confirm it all the way. And the Juno does stay alive. Weird bounce by Soren. Not sure what he was going for there, but it will keep the barrier alive. But the midfield, Carmine's approaching. Soren spaces back perfectly against the pendulum swing, and the barrier still stands.
Still stands for now, but Forgot looking to set it down to Carmine. Never mind. Forced to use the energy burst, now forced to back it away as nxzd was in pursuit for a moment, but it doesn't matter. Barrier still falls, and the expanse comes out. Almost sends the core into the net, but it's able to be defended and taken away. Kitsuna now looking for the pass down to himself. Nice death touch from Carmine, gets in the way of the play as well. Now, once again, forward, but not able to pick it up there. Pass to himself off that expanse, looking for it, but Soren's able to send it to the opposite side of the pitch. Overtime now again. Some of these plays starting to come together now, looking again, but Kitsuna this time in position with the energy burst to send it away. They're starting to cook up something here, Modern Magic, but I'm afraid we haven't reached the best tricks yet. It'll be much more difficult to do that. Forgot taken away. Here's the fiery flurry. Denies the energy burst from Ron P for just a moment. Carmine uses the death touch, but just gonna get sent away as well. nxzd still not relenting, even in game 2 of this series. But it's the same start and the same pick, so who could have seen anything different? As Kitsuna finds the goal, EKC wins set 1 in deja vu-ish fashion.
How does this guy do it? And of course, in the draft, a single spark.
Hey, it's a spark. Well, okay, wait a minute. Spark Vigility and Knife's Edge in the same draft.
Yeah, Knife's
so we
Edge,
can't pick up both.
Knife's Edge is pretty good, but there are plenty of Great Awakenings, you know? There's 1-2
true.
Punch, there's Catalyst, there's Spark of Power. This Juliette will scale no matter what, but that Knife's Edge going to be real nice on Forgot, actually. And of course with the Egoist pickup as well on Ron P, they're getting quite a bit of power along with the size on Carmine, so Modern Magic not too unhappy, but if nxzd finds that Spark of Power again, or finds an Adrenaline Rush, or finds Catalyst, then the game gets really difficult.
Yeah, you know, and the unfortunate part for God is Knife's Edge does not give you extra stagger or knockback reduction when you're on the edge, so still going to be just as susceptible to the dash punch of nxzd as he shows it off in that first interaction there. Looking for the goal again. Forgot able to dig it out. Kitsuna still in position. Rose Warp used by Ron P. Won't have access to that for a second. But even still on the back foot right now is Modern Magic. Here's the death touch for the Firewall Sentry used defensively from Soren this time. Forgot slips into the cloak. nxzd picks up the KO against Carmine, who's on the backside of the pitch, and Soren just finds all the angles to send it into the net while everyone else is worried about nxzd, who continues to be a thorn in the side.
Looked like a very prepared angle there from Soren, and Kitsuna is working on a flip of his own as well. A lot of attempted redirects here, and continuing to maintain control, so valuable on a map like this where Modern Magic has a very good shot. They see the snowball, their pressure, but Forgot's abilities whiff, but they still get the barriers. If they can keep it up here, it could be a goal, it could be a way back into this game for Modern Magic, but it's so difficult. This Juno is going to be there no matter what. These bounces are hard to track. Ron P pushing forward, and Soren's not ready.
Soren not ready, and I am very curious to see where Ron P decides to go with this, because with the Egoist, we'll have a little bit of extra speed. Of course, when that energy burst in, might opt to use that offensively on occasion. Now, of course, the extra speed bonus has really run out, but has a little bit extra. Try and use that strike shot to get it forward, but gotta do it there. Worth noting, the Expanse takes out nxzd. So Hill takes some time to rest, but not long at all. Carmine, energy burst, denied by the Blavo, but that nxzd right back to it. Finds Forgot with yet another KO. Here's the energy burst. Has to be used defensively by Ron P, but even still, the pressure's too much as nxzd. Beautiful job at keeping control of the core, and Soren assists in the corner with the Firewall Sentry.
Yeah, Forgot got a flip KO on nxzd off the edge, and he took it personally. Came back, got the KO, got the barrier, and got the goal. And EKC are once again up. One barrier already taken by the nxzd, working on a flip. Soren as well. They are so favored right now because Soren just going in, finding the barrier, and nxzd has a flip now.
As the flip. We'll be looking for it, but Carmine, double barriers taken away. Might they have it here? No. The flip is used on the defensive side for nxzd to get this one away, which, hey, might be worthwhile as he won't have that offensively to find a KO. Carmine low on stagger here, not what you want to be on this particular iteration of it, but even still, Carmine just slides in position. No, all good. He'll put it away. Business as usual, and once again, Modern Magic has drawn us out to a goal 5.
They don't call them Modern Magic for nothing, because this is a magical way to get back into this game, but Forgot is staggered. That KO could come very soon, and a good flip by Kitsuna will take one barrier, looking for another here. If they could find this KO on Forgot, it would be very valuable, and nxzd does secure it. But Carmine has questioned these situations before, but against much worse teams than EKC. As Soren, the same ISP woes that plagued me might be plaguing Soren right now. What's happening?
Nope, he's good. All good. I don't know. That didn't look like an ISP thing. That looked like a player taking the hands off the keyboard kind of thing more than anything to me. But hey, laughs about it afterwards. All good. He'll let that goal go in. Probably won't let it bother him too terribly much. But it will be the set that Modern Magic needs to equalize us.
And this is big. A potential spark of power deny here. But no sparks appear, of course. Fight or flight. A very, very good awakening. The option that can be taken right now, but Adrenaline Rush, you have to be afraid. You might just have to deny the Adrenaline Rush. And no selection is made. They wait. And nxzd finds the game warping awakening, of course. Fight or flight. Very, very good. Denying unstoppable from the goalie as Erasmus, Estelle, Drakkar. Very, very good. But you have to be afraid of nxzd always.
So you have to be afraid of nxzd. The other thing I was thinking, right, is Fight or Flight actually incredibly good for Carmine in general with the extra speed and the way that he wants to play the game, controlling on Erasmus in the enemy goal box. But no, we'll opt for the unstoppable here, trying to play the defensive game and prevent KOs from happening altogether. It looks like it doesn't matter here quite as Carmine to Forgot back and forth. They keep this tight pass together. Forgot now down to the corner, and there's nobody home for EKC on the top corner. Well done in the execution on that goal. Let's see if they can keep going.
Yeah, a really awkward goal. You don't really see those often, right? Back in the day, back in the earlier days of Mega Strikers, you saw plenty of goals where it would just drift past the eject goal. You still see it in the lower levels of competition. Been a while since I saw that in what's basically the North American Strikers League here. But Soren caught without resources, and once again with 2 barriers down, the crossfire from Modern Magic looking good, but the expanse usage from EKC might just bring them back into this point.
Keeps that on the red side of the pitch for just a moment. Kitsuna jumping back, all 3 of the members of EKC in the box. Forgot back pass, but gets taken out by the Blobo.
No, that was Soren. He blinked across the entire map.
Swipe.
That was a ridiculous KO at the perfect moment, and Modern Magic were once ahead in this one.
They were once. They'll be looking to dig it out, but no. Denied there as energy bursts exchanged. Kitsuna will put it home. Incredible play overall, but need to see more here for Modern Magic, right? They've been keeping it close. They just haven't gotten an advantage quite. We'll see if they can here.
2 barriers down, but this map could turn so quickly. A KO found again by nxzd. Adrenaline rushing. So much speed and pouring on the pressure. 2 barriers down now. And a favorable bounce for nxzd's core control. The flick down to the bottom side. Still maintaining it. Has the punch defended away by Modern Magic somehow. And they need to find something quickly. Or maybe find a KO on nxzd.
Good saves by Ron P there to dig that one out somehow, some way. And now nxzd is the one in the penalty box. Forgot. Keeps it slow. Carmine in the whiplash. Already burns the cast of it and won't have the extra speed. Possession maintained from Modern Magic. They look forward. Just a little bit shy of the pendulum swing. Ron P. Egoist speed. Here comes that energy burst potential. Not able to find it there. Has to use it on the defensive side as a demon angle comes through from that redirect off of Kitsuna. Forgot again. Forward. Death touch. Well done by Carmine. Both sides of Soren on that one. And he'll send it home. Modern Magic 1 point away from going up in sets.
We've been in this situation before, right? nxzd can scale no matter what, so you always have to be afraid. Carmine does have the tools to stay alive for much longer than before, but Forgot has become the target in recent times. But a good flip by Carmine, 2 barriers taken. If they can clean this up, if they can deny the spark of power, but that's Carmine going down. Forgot has flip, but can he use it? Can he score? Ron P, a missed strike, a rare miss, means that the barrier goes down almost 2, and Forgot is being brought low as well.
Still has the energy burst as Forgot. Carmine back online, looking for the pass. There's the low stagger, and now popped away, and he'll get taken down. Soren used the energy burst for good measure to find that KO, and that's a huge toll on the side of Modern Magic. Here's another punch forward. Kitsuna and nxzd collapsing in the goal. They'll find the bottom corner and are sending us again to a goal 5.
Goal 5's upon us, and this could determine the entire game. The likelihood of Spark of Power being in the next draft is 50%. It's a coin flip. And the only way to guarantee that you're safe if you're Modern Magic is to win this one and the next.
Have to be incredibly careful here. Looks like they're in good position here, but no, now Carmine still KO'd regardless. Ron P just a little bit late on the Rose Warp. Open goal gates on both sides. The power play continues for EKC. Here's the Project Maelstrom or Fiery Flurry already out. Forgot digs it away from Kitsuna, but now Carmine in the middle. Just slightly out of position. Now is there. Sends it forward and buys a little bit of breathing room for Ron P for just a second before that Firewall Sentry comes out. Back up to the top side. Here's Carmine in the Whiplash. Doesn't have the extra speed yet to keep up with the core at this moment in time. Ron P down to the bottom corner. There's the Rose Warp already used, and Soren comes in. Not the set. Now you leave it to chance. Where is that spark? Soren's first pick, which is also not bad. There's the spark, so it can't be denied. And nxzd is 5 overall.
But look at what NXZD is hovering. Spark of Strength, 1-2 punch Catalyst. He's happy no matter what. Even if he gets to pick the Rampage, he's happy. This draft is just so much stuff, and he's guaranteed one of those 3. He's guaranteed 1-2 punch or Catalyst. He's guaranteed 1-2 punch. And no matter what, this is a crazy draft for EKC. They also get the extra special. And of course, the Awakenings for Modern Magic are good. But when you look on the EKC end, you can't be happy.
Aerials on Kitsuna. The extra dash range. 1-2 punch makes KOs that much easier. And if you thought the Firewall Sentries were annoying, well, take more of them.
Ron P almost died.
Whether or not they're annoying, but Ron P lives barely and holds on to that barrier. nxzd back in position. Soren once again cyber swapping forward. There's the low stagger on Ron P, and it'll get taken down, cleaned up by nxzd immediately. Forgot back in the Xeno Cloak. Now nxzd looking for the KO. Forgot taken down to 1 stagger, it looked like. Able to pick up an orb to stay alive for a second, but he'll be the target next. Ron P back online. Carmine now is the one looking low. Has the energy burst, already uses it for the barrier, and now taken down rather low. Has to be incredibly careful here. Pendulum swing, and that was an angle. I don't know how the physics of that bumper worked, but it worked in Modern Magic's favor. They pulled some shenanigans there to send that one through, and they're holding on.
Holding on somehow. A great strike shot by Ron P across the map as well. Exactly what they needed, but speaking of across the map, that's Soren's job. That's what Soren is doing this whole series. And with the glitch pop to interrupt Carmine's possession, but they get it once again. Forgot has plenty of speed to work with. So that is something that you have to be aware of constantly. But nxzd is hunting, interrupted by the Rose Orb of Ron P, perfectly timed to buffer the knockback and make sure nxzd couldn't get that dash punch to KO the goalie.
Here's the energy burst from Kitsuna. It's enough to find the barrier. Now finds the KO on the Blobo bounce. Might not matter. Carmine has the energy burst. It'll send it through. once again saving the power play from the offensive side of the pitch. And that will be another goal. Modern Magic could send us to a set 5.
They still have a little bit of magic left. They still have the defense against the firewall sentry. And they still survive the dash punch for nxzd. That's 1-2 punch, but Forgot barely hangs on. And Carmine, of course, incredibly low. But they still have possession. They're still pushing forward. But Carmine, not long for this world, taken out. And nxzd starting the adrenaline rush.
There's the adrenaline rush. Here's the power play. Forgot Ron P still overwhelmed there. Energy Burst doesn't come up for the core or the KO, but now Forgot down on Stagger, taken down, and Kitsuna will put it away. Reset the point here. You take a deep breath and you go again. This time, of course, you're on the Expanse. Let's see whether or not they're able to come through with something here as Forgot sends it up to Carmine. There will be one barrier taken away already as all 3 members are on the same side of the pitch for Modern Magic. Forgot drops down in the Xeno Cloak, able to get this one through, and the Pendulum Swing will come up just shy. Meanwhile, Soren cyber swiping forward, can't find the goal barrier. Fadeaway shot from nxzd, but it's stopped by the Energy Burst of Ron P. Here's the extra Stagger coming in, dumping forward. nxzd tries to get Ron P out of position, tries to get him into his own net. Beautiful Blobo bounce from Kitsuna, but it doesn't come up with anything as it's stuffed down with a lock and load. Another dash punch comes up just shy, but Forgot now. No Stagger to his name, and there's Kitsuna again confirming the KO, flying in when someone has low Stagger, and Carmine next on the chopping block. He'll get taken down as well, and the offensive onslaught comes through, but the core slips past, and now again, Ron P able to buy quite a bit of time here. There's the Firewall Sentry finally, but Forgot's back online. Still holds on to this barrier. The Blobo doesn't find it either, and the hold is made.
Oh, but a dash punch flip at the perfect moment by nxzd to continue what seems like the never-ending power play for EKC. More damage pressure on Forgot, who is fighting back a little with the Molten Bolt, but nxzd's cooldowns are about to come right back up. The center is a threat. Carmine is pushing forward, but the Fireball Sentry will wall off the bottom side. nxzd with the Flame Flurry secures the barrier. A flip to the bottom side and a critical strike for a win as nxzd pushes forward yet again, gets 2 tries, and on the second one, he will strike second.
Match point for EKC. They look to take this one in at 2. It's been well fought this whole time. But Modern Magic still has the possibility to get something done here, and while only 1 spark left on a draft that they win, could actually be a little bit of scaling for Forgot here. Especially because I believe it's Spark of Resilience that would still be up, so has potential certainly to send this one if it goes to a set 5. They've been on the brink for so long, and now the goal gates are open. The sights are set as Forgot slips forward. Runs out of some of the extra speed. Ron P sends it away. Kitsuna tries to get in the way with Blobos. But there's Carmine who just pops the Energy Burst and sends it through. They're setting us to a set 5. So we have now seen 19 goals in this game. And I think it was pretty close to that in the last one. It all comes down to this next set. Modern Magic has the potential to send us to a game 3.
Yeah, and plenty of good awakenings as well. The hot shot going to be taken away from the Juno, taken by the Estelle. And that hot shot is going to be so valuable for Ron P. More cooldowns and more core speed as the Spark of Resilience is denied. And also a great pickup. Actually, not denied. A great pickup, but, well, kind of denied. Great pickup by Kitsuna to deny it away from the entire side of Modern Magic, prevent the additional Stagger from coming through. And honestly, the Twin Drive as well, nxzd, more cooldowns to refresh from the Adrenaline Rush. And of course, perfect form on Soren. So more cooldowns for the goalies, and Stagger denied away from Modern Magic. Big opportunity from EKC, I feel like.
But even still, the pressure is on them as all 3 members get involved on the play in goal 1 of set 5 for Modern Magic. They're looking to come back and come roaring back at that. realistically, Sai, as you mentioned, don't really get a lot of advantage in that last draft. Maybe Forgot gets a little bit of extra speed whenever he's in the Xeno Cloak, of course, and Ron P maybe can send the core flying further away, but they've just got to play so tight together, utilize these passing plays they've been able to before the KOs come through, as they already have, but the goal barriers drop once more. Doesn't matter. Soren finds the KO. Ron P against the world, it seems.
And the world will win.
Provides. As it turns out, the world may win. One man cannot hold. Versus the Onslaught. That is the Kitten Club. Still first to 3 now in this final set. Will we see a game 3 or will we see EKC maintain winner's side?
Soren with the slow dribble. Carmine, of course, always pushing forward, has the speed, has the presence to do it, has created magic so many times. Every single time that guy has played. A good flip by Ron P, staying alive against the dash punch flip of nxzd, but still not long for this world. The glitch pop will do it. And Carmine, the curse of Carmine's internet, now is when it strikes, but thankfully, it doesn't do too much. He's already back.
Already back, finds a goal barrier for the trouble as well. But nxzd is in position. Not now. 1 point away once more is EKC. Taking care of this match. Modern Magic needs to hold on and send us to a game 3, but a KO already found. Kitsuna taken off, evaporated from the pitch. Now Carmine on the dribble on top corner. nxzd is there. Death Touch actually off the rebound of the goal barrier, maintaining possession even still. After going for the offensive play, Ron P has the Rose Warp, keeps both barriers online, and now Forgot will pick up that Maelstrom Orb and take care of business. But all the meanwhile, Carmine gets KO'd. Big offensive threat taken out. Forgot, though, finds the KO versus Soren. And now Carmine is back online. 5 seconds before Soren comes back. And will find it to the top corner. Goal 24 is up next, and it will be the decider in this game 2.
All down to this. A flip available on Ron P and Kitsuna soon. And nxzd the target now with no elusive available, but also targeting Forgot. That dash punch will not end up KOing Forgot. Will still stand staggered now, but another cooldown will have to be burned to find Forgot, who just Xenocloaks out of there. And 1 barrier has already been taken by Carmine. Looking for 2, but strike discipline by Soren to keep it away. A defensive fireball sentry as well. A flip burned to keep it to the top side. And a creative bounce to find the barriers.
I don't know if that was creative or not, but it ends up working. nxzd back on the KO streak. He's got 10 to his name on the streak alone, but the goal barrier is lost. Carmine has potential core pressure, but the pendulum swing is out. Soren now offensive. There's the firewall sentry. There's the energy burst from Ron P. He's low. He gets taken down. Carmine has to make a play. It's now or never as nxzd comes roaring back in. Misses the energy burst there. Can't find the core yet. nxzd is all over it. There's the energy burst, and he sends it home just like you'd expect. EKC holds on in a nail-biter in this first match of landing. It's a long road for EKC, but Modern Magic, how about how far they pushed every single point, Saya?
Yeah, Modern Magic were that close. Carmine had flip. If Carmine scored there, that would be game 3, and I don't know who wins that. And that was against an incredibly strong EKC. This team with Soren, Aimee, and nxzd Juliette is really, really scary. And Modern Magic still brought it that close.
You also think, like, arguably, EKC heading into the day might be expected to be the best team here today.
Yeah.
Theoretically, you can make that argument, and Modern Magic sends us to, like, a 19-goal first game, a 24-goal second game, both close, and the starting draft, the starting awakenings were against them. It was the same thing both times with a spark start. incredible performance from these players, and it means they might get sent down to the lower side, Saya, but you've got to be very scared right now if you are on the other side. Worth noting, of course, PPL will take that series versus Pass. So up next in the qualification match, we will see EKC versus PP Legends. And on the lower side, it will be Modern Magic versus Pass. Both matches soon to happen shortly, Saya. But again, what a performance across the board. It seemed like nxzd just had the game and could take it over, yet somehow it still wasn't enough.
Yeah. Wow. And honestly, once again, this EKC team, that's crazy. Like, wow.
Yeah.
Every time I'm like, maybe they're washed. Maybe they're done. They show up and they look like the favorites yet again. You know, it is incredible.
Yeah. So speaking of showing up, they'll have to do that versus this PPL team up next. Slight roster change, maybe since the last time that some of us have seen PPL, Saya, with Bloom coming in, of course. And so that match will be coming up in just a moment. Don't go anywhere, folks, because we will qualify our first team to the North American Strikers League today out of landing on the other side of this short break.